We welcome you back to our special edition of CBS 11 News at 6, COVID and the classroom. All this week we are tackling the single topic of education and all the issues that come with going back to school during this pandemic right now. Garland ISD says that day number 2 of the school year was a whole lot smoother than day 1, which is good news. The district says students are acclimating quickly to virtual learning, and if anybody still needs help, they do have support available. Garland ISD students will be learning remotely, so you know, for the first 4 weeks of school. And Texas high school coaches are hoping a survey of COVID cases during the summer workouts generates some support for fall sports. The Texas High School Coaches Association says it polled coaches all across Texas about the number of cases that they had over the last several months. Coaches from 244 districts reported 4 cases that were traced to their camps. 4 students were hospitalized. There were 0 deaths. The association says 278 athletes of the more than 65,000 surveyed tested positive, which results and boils down to 0.426%.
0.426% sounds very low.
I kind of try to take it a day at a time and don't try to look too far in advance or try to, tell you that this is statistically right, wrong, or whatever. I think, as long as we keep doing the protocols that are set forward by the UIL and by TAPS, then, it seems to be working, and we can keep taking each baby step forward and hope to have a season.
The low Texas statistics, by the way, are hitting social media. Some people are saying they basically push a narrative. Other people are saying sports provides daily monitoring and gives us these numbers, which we would not have otherwise. A lot of different camps on it, but those are the facts. As some North Texas children head back to in-person classes, some parents are worried about what kind of precautions do you take possibly when the children come home from school. Karen Borta tonight has a deeper look in today's Ones for Wellness.
South Lake 6th grader Mihika Chowdhury is finishing up her summer assignments before school starts.
Might be a good idea.
And her parents are beginning to worry about how to keep everyone safe.
Points in favor of going to school, obviously getting kids to learn with other kids is probably one of the highest on that list.
Like many moms, Raushini Chowdhury has a lot of questions about what to do when her daughter returns home from school.
Do we need to sanitize her from head to toe? Quick shower, head shower, does that have to happen daily? What happens to her footwear, her clothing, her backpack, her books? To what extent are we going to start spraying everything down?
I know there's a lot of worry about backpacks and things that they're bringing back from school.
Dr. Diana Cervantes is an infectious disease doctor at UNT Health Science Center in Fort Worth. She says there are really 2 ways you can get infected.
It's either going to directly get into you because somebody coughed or sneezed within that 6 feet, or because you did touch something that could potentially be contaminated, and then you touched your eyes, your nose.
Which is why parents and educators should train children in proper mask wearing and hand washing. The good news is that the virus often becomes unstable on surfaces.
Its stability does start to decrease, especially with the higher heat and the humidity. It's just not as stable.
She says there's no need to wipe down or spray everything that comes home, but removing shoes and putting away a backpack in a designated spot should be a norm anyway.
They're not putting it, on places that are frequently touched, maybe your dining table.
As for changing clothes and taking a shower,
as far as the virus goes, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it would hurt any, but I don't think it's really necessary.
The CDC recommends sending an extra mask with the name clearly written on it, and a water bottle, and an extra bottle of hand sanitizer if the child is old enough to carry one. Balancing health and education in these unprecedented times. Karen Borta, CBS 11 News.
Karen also shared that Dr. Cervantes says things to really consider before sending children for in-person classes should at least include understanding, number 1, a detailed plan on social distancing, masking, and hand washing at school. Number 2, the number of kids in each class, have a good understanding of that. And number 3, medical condition, not only of the child, but also of associated family members as well, as best you can find out. Be sure to stay with CBS 11 for all your back-to-school needs. You can go to cbsdfw.com. If you go that address /back-to-school, click on the COVID in the classroom icon. There you're going to find a huge amount of resources for all of you out there, parents, students, teachers, as well as start dates as we know them and new guidance as it comes out for schools that are reopening. This is updated daily.